Welcome to Astrology. Today we're going to dive into this beautiful person you see right here in front of us in this picture, Angel Reese. So one night I was watching one of her games and I was just wondering, isn't it too early in her career for her to have a podcast, for her to be considered this real big star? And this was just a simple question I had in my mind that I wanted to explore. And as I was diving deeper and learning more about Angel Reese, it really opened my mind to a new perspective into who she is. And I want to explore that with you today because I believe it's very important to question things, but also to learn about things in a way that's opening of the heart and the mind. And I found this beautiful person a perfect example. Before we get into it, I want to read this quote by Angel. I have a voice, and I'm not going to stop using my voice for the people that know I'm making a difference. And I found this quote to really encompass the aspects of Angel Reese and really describing her to the T. So let's get into it. For those who do not know, Reese is a WNBA professional ball player, and she was drafted, I believe, in this year. So this is her first year playing professionally right out of college. She plays currently for the Chicago Sky, and I found this very interesting in the research that some of her nicknames, so she goes by either Bayou Barbie or she goes by Kai Barbie. So she has these really cool names that she goes by. Prior to being drafted into the Chicago Sky, she was she was playing basketball in the college level. And she was already a star by then. She was playing pretty good. Her stats were pretty good. And now as she is in her first year in her career, she is really one of the two rookie star players in the WNBA, which is amazing. She was named WNBA All-Star Player, so she is technically a star player so early in her career. So this is why my questions of, isn't it too early for these titles or these kind of references to her, but also this also adds to the complexity that she has to experience from the media and from just people being bullies. She came in hitting the ground full force with no fear, with so much ambitions, and I'm so this is such an inspiring quality, and I'll explain why. And some of the thoughts that came to mind is that Reese is really holding the torch for many women who are wanting to inspire to become ball players, and many other things that are happening within the sports and the evolution of it. I know it's a little bit too early to say this, but I believe it really strongly that she's really a catalyst for change and a pioneer here in this sport. So I know some of you are dying to know her astrology. Her sun is in Taurus. Her moon is in Pisces. And she has this beautiful energy of wanting to speak, wanting to say what she needs to say. And she's destined. She has so much potential for speaking her truth that shows up so much in who she is. She is forceful with it. And I think this is where it comes to challenges, where I find really people, journalists that have been in the game for so long, really criticize her because she's so bold. She comes in and she kind of tells you what it is with no fear, with no setbacks of what she really needs to say. And the fact that she started recently a podcast, I believe she's in the early stages of her podcast where she's being sponsored. I mean, she got sponsored by Reese's Pieces. And so she's going through all these creative opportunities that is opening up for her, as she's opening up also these conversations of, like, I love when I was watching a couple episodes, some of the things she was talking about was her being a woman, being sexualized in the media, her as a ball player, some of her greatest statistics in the game, and also like being a woman, a girl's girl. That's what she said in the podcast, supporting other women and supporting other girls in general. And this is inspiring, and I know that she's not only opening the eyes of many younger players and who are women or who might be men too, right? We can't put a gender restriction here, that inspired by her voice. And this is all due to a close stellium that she has in Gemini. So she has this stellium in Gemini, which is always going to push her to kind of go against the grain. She was born with some challenges. There was some challenges as she was growing up, and these challenges are what is going to help her propel herself as she goes through her career. This is what's going to open her up to being like, nope, I'm going to do this differently. I'm going to show up differently, and I'm going to speak on it. And it's not a surprise that she, at this stage in her career, which is pretty early, that she has a podcast going and she's being supported. People actually do support her and the differences that she makes. I was even watching a video where she went back to her university and she gave out gifts to the men's basketball team. And that was really inspiring to me, because it's like she was giving back to her community. She was giving back to the people through her own wins and through her own ambition and power. And she's building great momentum and foundations for not only herself as she propels and grows in this career as a WNBA, but she's also setting the ground forth for the generations to come. And she's really has a great potential, again, to be that, to be the voice, to be the face, and to understand different perspectives and share that. And I strongly believe through her experiences that she will continue to share with us ways to be that, to overcome, the challenges of people not accepting, or people bullying, or people not realizing who we are. I know she's been critiqued and compared to her competitor, Caitlin Clark, which she has another background, right, of who she is. And but there's been growth between that. And again, it's like she used her voice to express to the media. I remember one interview about that, like people criticizing her and saying that she's comparing them, and her really coming from a place of poise and structure and saying, well, I believe in this, and people should also see this perspective. And what I love about that is that she's going against the grain, and she's going to continue to go against the grain, and she's going to use it through the modality of her voice. So this quote is so fitting. I can't wait to watch more of her games and the inspiration that she'll provide through the challenges that she's gone through and she will continue to face, but that will really push her to be the greatest that she can be. So thank you all for watching this quick video on sharing this exploration of Angel Reese. And let me know what you think of Angel Reese, and just like, what have you maybe learned about her? Are you willing to learn about her? And any comments you have below about this beautiful person here. Thank you all for watching. Con mucho, mucho sabor. Sabor Astrology.